Hey guys, how are you doing? My name's Abby. Today I'm just going to be talking about myself, as per usual. So what I'm going to get into today is just things like what I've been wearing, eating, reading, listening to, basically just what I've been up to. Alright, first things first, what I've been wearing. It's kind of funny because I used to care so much, like, about fashion and stuff, and like, have to be on the latest trends, and I really just cared about fashion and stuff, and like wanting to be like people to look at me and be like, she's got style. And now I'm just like, I really don't care. I don't know if it's me maturing, my ego is, I'm just trying to shed my ego. And I'm also 22. I'm not, an 18-year-old running around, and it's not, I don't know, I'm just not as young as I was, and I'm still young, but I'm just trying to elevate and level up and be a mature young adult, but also, still wearing crop tops and shit like that. But I'm trying to just elevate my style, I guess one could say. Let's stop shopping at Forever 21 and places like that, because, that's what I'm trying to do. No shade if you shop there. I shop there all the time in college, but now that I'm out of college, I'm like, let's get some more durable clothes. Like, in college and stuff, I never had business casual clothing. Like, when I would go to interviews for jobs, I would literally wear like baggy jeans and like a top and like a jacket over it. Like, it wasn't very business casual because I didn't have anything and I didn't really want to shop for stuff. Now I've shopped and I've found some good stuff that I really like that's kind of businessy, so I'm just going to share that with you. Okay, the first thing I got is not businessy, but I really like it and I want to share it. It's a Gandalf cat from Lord of the Rings. Really cute. I got it in Missouri when I was visiting my dad, and I love it. So Zara is really good, as most of you know. Zara is awesome. I got 2 pairs of pants. They're different styles, and I'll just insert the photo of what they look like on the model, or maybe I'll take a picture of me in them. But they're very good material. They're just like the trousers. These are really wide, look really good, and they fit me perfectly in the waist. So very happy I got these, so whenever I get a job, I'll be looking good in the office or wherever I get a job. If I can ever get a job, that'll be awesome. Okay, so next, another pair of pants. Old Navy. Go to Old Navy, because I'd seen on TikTok, like, everyone's like, Old Navy is elevating, like they have good stuff. So I was like, let's go check it out, and they do have really good stuff. I got this top there on sale. Their tank tops are really, really cute. They have all sorts of colors, very cheap. And I got these pair of pants. These are just like baggy little flowy beach pants, and kind of the style that is popular right now on TikTok and stuff is like the grandma, summer grandma, whatever that is. I can't think of the name, but that's kind of what I'm pulling from. I like beachy, just baggy grandma clothes, like button downs, button ups, like loose. That's kind of what I like for the summer this summer. And the last thing I'll show you is just kind of what the vibe I'm going for this summer. And this is not really even summer, but this is a button down I got from Missouri when I was visiting my dad, from this little boutique. And I just like the material of it. It's like that, not ribbed, just like the little checkers, like the little squares. And it's really cute. I love creams. I feel like every summer I have a color. That's what I like wear. Like 2019 or 2020 I wore black. Like, black was my color. All my tops were black. Last summer, 2021, I wore white. I always wore white. And this summer I think my color is cream. Yeah, that's all the fashion section I have. I really just am taking it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, what I'm trying to tell myself, and like when I'm trying to grow, we're all trying to grow. I'm trying to grow as a person and not be so caught up in material things and stuff like that. I have a long ways to go, but yeah, I'm like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I feel good and whatever, then cool. Alright, next. Reading. I am like a fanatic right now. Not really, but I used to never read. in high school and even like freshman through junior year of college, I was like, I don't read. I don't want to read. I don't like reading in my free time. It's not me. And then last summer, on a road trip, my friend had given me The Beautiful Boy book, and I'd seen the movie, but I hadn't read the book. And so I read the book, and that really kick-started it. I was like, it's really fun to read, and like I enjoy that. I would rather spend my time reading than being on my phone on social media and stuff like that. So that's what kind of started it, and since then I've probably read like 6 or 7 books, which for me, that's good. Anyways, I'll get into the books that I'm reading currently. So right now, these are the 3 books that I am reading right now. I've had these 2 for a long time. I got these for Christmas, and I haven't really dived in. This one's a spirituality book. It's called The Untethered Soul. I'll just read a little excerpt of it. But The Untethered Soul begins by walking you through your relationship with your thoughts and emotions, helping you uncover the source and fluctuations of your inner energy. Then it delves into what you can do to free yourself from the habitual thoughts and emotions and energy patterns that limit your consciousness. Finally, with perfect clarity, this book opens the door to a life lived in freedom of your innermost being. So basically, just finding yourself. And then another more self-help or not spiritual, but like self-growth book that I'm reading is The Body Keeps the Score. It's about the brain, mind, and body and the healing of trauma. So it just basically, it's written by a psychiatrist. He is a doctor, but he's just a really smart human. But he, in the beginning of it starts with how he is, he's a psychiatrist or therapist for these war veterans, and he's learning about how, trying to figure out how their trauma affects them, and like, just basically what trauma does to your body, and it's really interesting. I need to keep reading it, but it's like, the pages are like to the brim, but like they're big, like they're filled to the brim, so it's not bad, but I just gotta you have to be in the mood to read, and like, cause it's very research based, which is good, but I just have to be in the mood to read something serious. But it's really good so far. And the next book I'm reading right now is The Midnight Library. This is not a self-help book, but this is more just fantasy fiction. But it's really good so far. I've heard good things about it, and it was on sale at Target, and that's why I got it. So I'm on page 61, so it hasn't fully sucked me in yet, because I'm a slow start. Like, when I read, it's like a slow start. I have to keep forcing myself, and then when it gets going, it's going. I finish it in like 2 days. So those are the books I'm currently reading. Okay, let's go into influencers. I'm just gonna list off some people that I've been, really into, because I feel like my phases in my life are based around the people that I'm watching, like the content I'm consuming and stuff like that. And something I used to always do, which was really bad, I'm sure a lot of people do it, was not copy, but like I was heavily influenced by the people that were influencers that I was watching. So like Indie Blue, like 2018, I was obsessed. I still am obsessed with her, but I wanted to travel, I wanted to get a nose job, and like all this stuff, which is not bad. And like I didn't get a nose job just because of her or anything like that. I didn't even get a nose job. But I'd say right now, people that I'm influenced by, I guess that's a better way to put it. Obviously, always Emma Chamberlain. I wish she would come back to YouTube, but I get it, be that mysterious girly and, come back to it whenever you're ready. Indie Blue right now. I go through phases with her, but right now she's like in the spiritual awakening mama mode, getting a house, like decorating, and that's something that I really admire and like kind of live through her on that. But I'm trying to grow, and she posts really good like spiritual stuff on there, so I like the quotes that she posts and stuff like that. So that's something I look forward to when I get on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, is seeing what she's up to. So let's go into goals. What's next? I graduated college. what's next? It feels like I'm in this abyss. Like I've made it, I graduated college, and now it's like, what's next? Like I'm very like in an abyss of possibilities. So it's a good thing, but it's also very intimidating. So yeah, I think one of my goals is to focus more on YouTube and stuff, and I don't want to be, it's not like my goals are to be famous, and you know, it used to be, I definitely used to want to just post and get to be famous and be like immature born and stuff, but now it's more like I just like sharing my life, and I want to be able to look back on these videos that I make, and like especially with the ones with my roommates in college and stuff, my best friends, I want to be able to look back on that, and like whenever I'm missing them, or you know, can watch a video on YouTube and be like, oh yeah, that was fun, I missed them. So that's more what my goal, like what I'm aiming to do with this is. And also I'm just trying to find my niche. You know, everyone on the internet has their niche of what they do, like fashion or food or even smaller things like that, than, you know, very micro, small little things that make them successful. So right now, I don't know, I'm just kind of figuring it out. Another goal is to get a job, get a good job. I have my I don't think I've ever told you this, maybe I did. My major in college was media and communications with a concentration in radio, TV, and film. So anything like that. They didn't have a photography program where I went to school. So that's what was the next best thing for me. And I do like film, and I learned a lot. So yeah, so anything, I do want to expand my photography business and do that. That's a big goal of mine. I want to get into weddings. I've just been too intimidated, and another goal is to like stop letting my fears and anxiety like hinder me from doing things and like putting myself out there for jobs or whatever, because that's a big thing I've been struggling with. I've been struggling with that for a long time, but just gotta tell yourself that you're worth it, and you deserve it, and you can do it. So let's just get into it. So the last section, it has to do with eating and stuff. I have been diagnosed with EOE, and if you don't know what that is, I didn't know what it was either. Eosinophilic esophagitis. So EOE for short, that's what I'm going to call it. So it's basically a food allergy. So basically the short version is I have a food allergy, and I don't know what it is, but it's causing my throat to shrink up. And because when you have an allergy, your body sends like white or red blood cells to that area that's infected or is inflamed, and by doing that, to fight it, it causes rings to happen in your throat, which makes your throat smaller and harder to get food down and stuff. So I have always been a slow eater, because when I was about 10 or 12, I started noticing I was choking a lot when I was eating, and it scared the shit out of me. And pills have always been my weakness. Pills, can't do it. Can't take pills. Not for me. Can't do it. I choke. I'm nervous. I don't like taking pills. It's never been my thing. People have always made fun of me, and I don't really care. I'll chew them up. I'll put them in applesauce. That's what I did. I have a mortar and pestle. I'll crush them up, and that's what I do, because I can't take pills. Something about it just doesn't work for me. So a long time I thought it was a mental block, because I was choking on these pills and then I was fine. And so when I was 10 or 11 in middle school or something, I don't know, I had a scope done, and they looked down my throat to see what was going on, and the doctor wasn't really the best. He just didn't give a lot of information. He was just like, it's inflamed, probably a food allergy. That's it. So 10 years later, I'm having a lot of issues eating. I literally, it got to the point where I was so nervous to eat out in public. Like, I was nervous I was going to choke. I didn't like eating out and with other people, because it just like felt like people, I don't know, I just, you know, when you're nervous about eating and stuff like that, being out in public is not ideal. And so I would always be slow. People always wait on me, which I've gotten used to. And like, if you have true friends, they don't care if you're slow, you know. But people always made fun of me. Fuck y'all. But yeah, what started this process of me getting diagnosed and me going to the doctor was I was taking a pill and it got stuck in my throat. So I'm sitting there on the couch taking it, thought everything's okay. I'm telling myself, just get it down, it'll be fine. So it gets stuck in my throat, and it's like the weirdest feeling. It gets stuck in my throat, and so I'm coughing, and like I'm starting to panic, and I'm starting to freak out. Luckily, my 2 roommates, my 2 best friends were there, Grace and Jill, and they were panicked. They're like, I don't know what to do, and so they're beating the shit out of me, and I'm like coughing and trying to like and Jill's like giving me the fucked up version of the Heimlich, like I'm kind of like spitting it. I'm just like freaking out, and I'm having a panic attack, and I'm like, can't breathe, and this is going on for like minutes. Like obviously it's not like choking to where I'm like can't breathe, because I would have passed out or something, but it was scary enough to like I was freaking the fuck out. So I was trying to get water down, and every time I would take a thing of water, it would like get stuck right there for a second. It would hurt, and it gets stuck. Like you can feel the water in the pill right there, just like stuck before it goes down. And like not all of it went down, because the pill would still be there. The water would go down, but it was just the most uncomfortable feeling, really scary. So I was like, something's fucking wrong. I was like, this is annoying. I don't want to do this. So after that, it became a really bad anxiety thing for me, because I take pills every day for my meds, and I would literally be anxious about it at like in the morning, as soon as I wake up. I don't take my meds until 8 o'clock at night, but I would be nervous about taking my pills because I was afraid I was going to choke or something, and I wouldn't want to take my pills alone. I would make sure someone was with me, or like in the apartment, and it was just really scary, and I was like, it shouldn't be like this. But I didn't go to the doctor, and I was just like, whatever. So then the second time this happens was a month later. I was taking ibuprofen because I had a headache because I was drinking the night before, and I crushed it up in my mouth. I chewed it, so it was this tiny piece of an ibuprofen, and it got stuck in my throat, and I was really starting to panic. I could breathe a little bit, but I was panicking really, really bad, and I was starting to have a panic attack. And I've never really had panic attacks. I've had like anxiety my whole life, but I've never had like a panic attack where it's really like this bad. So luckily my boyfriend was home, and I was in the living room, and I go into my room when he's playing video games, and I was like, hey, it's stuck in my throat. And he doesn't believe me like at first, because I'm just like nervous, whatever. He's like still playing his game. He's like, okay, just drink water. And I'm like, no, Tyler, like it's stuck in my throat. I'm panicking, and I need you to give me your full attention right now. So he's still just like playing or whatever, and then he notices that I'm like visibly concerned, and I sit on the floor, and I'm like freaking the fuck out, and I'm like can't breathe. I'm panicking, and my panic attack I think is triggering my throat to kind of close, so I'm taking really shallow breaths, and I'm literally just freaking the fuck out. So he's like trying to calm me down, and I'm taking sips of water, and it's doing that same thing where it gets stuck in my throat, and it can't go down, and it sucks. It just sucks. So eventually he's like on the verge of calling my mom or taking me to the doctor, because he was freaked out, and I was freaked out. And so eventually he's like on the phone with my mom, and she's talking to me, and I throw up. I threw up the pill and stuff. I think probably because I was so nervous or something. I don't know. I was just glad it was out of my system. And so that was like the final point where I was like, I have to go to the fucking doctor, because this is ridiculous. I can't be dreading taking a pill every single day. This is not normal. I have to go get this checked out. So I go to the doctor, and he's like, you probably either have acid reflux or this EOE. And I was like, okay, I do have acid reflux, because I take Pepsid and stuff like that sometimes, because when I noticed after tomato sauce, after spaghetti has specific tomato sauce, specific tomato sauce, I flare up, and it hurts, and it's just like annoying. It hurts. So I was like, okay, probably just acid reflux. So we go and have the scope done, and he tells me after it's all done, they put you under anesthesia and stuff, and they go in there and do their thing. He said that my throat was so flared up that he couldn't even get the scope down it in some areas to investigate my throat. So that just shows how bad this was. It was a pretty bad case. And so Okay, my camera died, so I'm just gonna finish up the video on my phone. Anyways, so with EOE, it's very hard to figure out what you're allergic to. And my initial thought was like, just go to a food allergist, like the allergist, and get pricked and see what I'm allergic to. But he said that that is very inaccurate and it's a waste of time for like this. So I have to do the elimination diet, and which is basically eliminating a certain food groups and then reintroducing them and seeing if you flare up and having scopes in between. So it's a long process and it's very hard. So for the past 6 weeks, he told me to cut out bananas, watermelon, kiwi, and avocado, because he thinks that those are some of the, that's his kind of hypothesis. And so I don't personally think that's what I'm allergic to, but I've been doing it and I haven't really noticed a difference. So I'm supposed to have another scope next week. But I think the next thing I'm going to cut out is dairy, because last night I was having a bowl of cereal and I usually use oat milk just because preference, but I used dairy, and I was eating Reese Puffs for dessert, and I noticed got the feeling of like kind of itchy in my throat, and so I was like, yeah, I think I'm allergic to dairy. So next thing I'm going to cut out is dairy, which sucks because I love cheese. I'm gonna cut out dairy, obviously, and then I want to cut out processed foods because I don't want to eat healthier, and processed foods are good for literally no one. They give you cancer. So that's my plan at the moment. I want to eat healthier, work out more, and figure out what I'm allergic to, because it's no fun. And I highly recommend, if you feel like you have trouble swallowing, you're a slow eater, and you feel like stuff is getting stuck, and it's not like you're full on choking, like you can't breathe. It could be for some people, but for me it's like you can kind of breathe, but it's stuck, and it feels very weird. It's a very weird feeling. It's not fun. So if you have that, I would get checked out. So, but also my doctor told me that I'm special because in my age group, I'm 22, so 8 out of 10 men my age have EOE, so, which is very weird. It's very high, but only 2 out of 10 women have it in my age group. So I was one of the lucky 2 that has this disease, or whatever it's called, disorder, disease, whatever. So I'm lucky. I'm one of the few, and yeah, it's okay. I've gotten, since he stretched me out, I'm able to take my pills. It's not causing me anxiety like it used to. And a tip that I have found for taking pills, so if you struggle with taking pills, don't feel alone, because if anyone's giving you hell for it, tell them to fuck off, because there's probably a reason. And even if there isn't a reason, it doesn't matter, you know, like everyone's different, everyone's body's different, and don't feel bad about it if you can't take pills, because a lot of people can't. So my tip is putting it in applesauce, because it kind of tricks my brain, because so many times I've like taken it with water and it gets stuck, so it's just like water is a no-go for me with pills, because it's just like traumatic memories or whatever. So I put it in applesauce, and I take about an applesauce with nothing in it, no pill in it, and I just get it down to make sure everything's working good, and then I put the pill in it, and then I just take it and swallow it, and it goes down fine. And I think it kind of tricks my brain into thinking that there's no pill in it, and the texture is kind of, it's like a thicker texture than water, so it kind of, I don't know, the panic not there when I do it with applesauce. So I would highly recommend doing that. And if you're someone that is dealing with this, please, please, please comment or message me. I would love to hear any advice or any tips or anything that anyone's going through about this, because it sucks. And I want to figure out what I'm allergic to, and most people don't, because there's so many things you could be allergic to, and it's very hard to figure out, because not many people can cut out just everything and figure it out what it is. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully I figure it out, and that's what's been up with me. So trying to mature into a better human being and figure out what the hell I'm allergic to. So yeah. All right, that's pretty much it. That's what's up with me. And yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.